What is going on, guys? It's your boy, Dylan the Villain, coming back at you once again with some more Total Extreme Wrestling. It is Sunday, week 2, September 1997. We are at the pay-per-view. But before the pay-per-view, you know how it is. We got to knock out Sunday Night Heat. And we are going to be hyping up the pay-per-view while continuing some storyline exclusive Sunday Night Heat exclusive storylines. In this segment, we have Asked Us, and they're backstage, and they basically talk about how they're excited that all these young and up-and-coming tag teams are trying to fight to become number one contender. He said that APA won their match last week against Bomb and Crush, but they turned down the offer for the tag team championships to become number one contenders. They said they have more important matters to attend to. I don't know what those problems are. Maybe we'll find out later tonight. But they basically said that there's going to be a huge main event here tonight to crown the number one contenders for the tag team titles. It will be a big fatal four-way tag team matchup in tonight's main event on Sunday Night Heat to determine the new number one contenders for the tag team titles. This segment got an 82. As the storyline advances, color commentary announcing gave the match a boost. Goldust with a hot new catchphrase, and crowd support. People love Goldust. We're going to move on to the next segment, and it is our opening contest. Ash Jushin Thunder Liger takes on Lance Storm. They have great chemistry together, and they showed it in their performance. Lance Storm defeats Liger by pinfall in 13:22. I really didn't want Liger to tap out here. That was a booking decision on my part. I'd rather just him eat the 1-2-3 loss over Lance Storm. But Lance Storm picks up a win here tonight. I have big plans for Lance Storm. I love Lance Storm. I always thought he was a good talent and a good hand, especially in ECW, WCW. WWE kind of really didn't know what to do with him. But I love Lance Storm. I think he's a excellent talent and a great heel. And I'm trying my hardest to get him over and push him. But it's a long grind, guys. It's a long grind to try to get some of these guys over. Match got a 49, like I said. 44 and 46. We're going to move on to the next segment. And it is Jim Cornette. And he's basically talking about his gimmicks getting stale. Let me make that a note. I'll make that a note. Jim Cornette's basically talking about Chris Candido. And how Jim Cornette kicked Chris Candido out of Camp Cornette, Jim Cornette's Enterprises. He kicked him out because Chris was engaging in extracurricular activities, and Jim Cornette didn't want that to bring down his stable. You know, he wants good workers, not workers that are going to be high all the time. And he says that him coming out there and attacking Rob Van Dam is idiotic. Because Rob Van Dam is the best light heavyweight wrestler in the world. And nobody can hold a candle to Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam is Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Saturday Night, Mr. Sunday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View, whatever you want to call him. Rob Van Dam is the absolute best. And you think that you just coming out here and attacking Rob Van Dam is just going to get you a match against Rob Van Dam? Well, buddy, I'm sorry to tell you that Rob Van Dam is not even in the country, in England. No, he said that entertaining these idiotic, messed up teeth British people who don't know a cookie from a biscuit, he's not coming here and Wembley Stadium, and he's not going to entertain these fans, and he's not going to defend his title because he believes they're beneath him. He believes the British audience is beneath him and ain't worth it. So he is already back in the States, and he says these British fans are ungrateful. He's already back in the States. So Chris Candido You wasted your time. You know, you might as well get on a plane and come back to America, because you're not going to have a match anytime soon, buddy, against Rob Van Dam. And you attacking Rob Van Dam thinks you're going to get the #1 contendership. That's not how things work here in the WWF. That might be how things used to work in that little bingo hall that you worked in. But here in the World Wrestling Federation, we have strict guidelines on who becomes #1 contender and who doesn't become #1 contender. And as far as I can see, you're never going to amount to anything here in the World Wrestling Federation. So you might as well go back to the bingo hall with your buddies, bashing each other over the head with chairs and pipes and everything else underneath everything but the kitchen sink. Hell, probably even that too. You can go back and work there, because Rob Van Dam isn't going to defend his title against you. You're crazy to think that. Segment got a 92. It advances storyline. Now the commentary gave the match a boost. Jim Cornette benefited from having a hot catchphrase, and Jim Cornette's gimmick is getting stale. We made a note of that, and we're going to try to give him a better gimmick. Next segment. I wanted to get Ken Shamrock on the card. Give him a little boost. I like Shamrock. He's not very charismatic, but he was a good worker in the Attitude Era, and I would love to push Shamrock as maybe an upper mid-card, upper mid-card guy. And that's what we're going to try to do, along with The Godfather. I love The Godfather. Who doesn't love The Godfather? But in a bout that had terrible wrestling, non-crowd heat, Ken Shamrock defeats The Godfather in 8:05 by submission with an ankle lock. The match got a 56. Ken Shamrock with a 61 and Godfather with a 43. Take a sip of my drink here. Yes. In this segment, we see Duane Gill, and he's backstage. As we know, Duane Gill, he had the rags to riches, back to rags storyline going on. You know, he made an event at WrestleMania. He made a bunch of money. But he didn't know he made a whole bunch of money. As we know, Jim Cornette was his manager, and we believe that Jim Cornette ran off with all that money because Duane Gill's flat broke. But the I.R.S. sent Iwan R. Seister to come and seize that money and to collect that money, or he's going to jail. And we see Duane Gill backstage, and we see Arwen show up. What do you know? His initials are I.R.S. Who would have guessed that? No, I'm joking. But I.R.S. shows up. I was going to try to keep it, not calling him I.R.S., but I.R.S. shows up backstage, and he goes, "Look, Gil, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Either you're going to pay your taxes and pay back the money that you owe Uncle Sam, or I am going to have to call the top-of-the-line police force to come and throw you in jail." And Duane Gill's like, "I'm not going to jail." You know, he's like, "Look, I don't even have $2 to get a cup of coffee, you know, like, come on, man. Like, I don't even have enough money to get a cup of coffee." And he's just like, "Well, it's not my fault. You blew through that money already, and you didn't pay your taxes. So now I'm here to collect. And I have this man here to take it. And it's the return of the Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man recently came back to the company. He's been away for a while, not working anywhere else. He's been in rehab and getting cleaned up and everything. And he made his return here tonight as the enforcement of I.R.S. here, and Big Boss Man then starts attacking Duane Gill, and we have a Prompt 2 hardcore match. And in a poor match, Big Boss Man beats Duane Gill by pinfall with the Bubba Slam. Big Boss Man with a 69. Nice. Duane Gill with a 52. He's going down in pop so bad. The Hard Times storyline advances. The segment got a 64. After the match, Big Boss Man then puts Duane Gill in handcuffs, and they throw him in the back of a cop car as I.R.S. and Big Boss Man jump in and drive off out of Wembley Stadium here. We move on to the next segment, and we see Stone Cold Steve Austin. This segment got 100. And he's backstage. And we see the APA, like their little door that they have just in a random open area. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, he walks up, and he goes just to walk around the door, and he stops. And then he walks back, and he taps on the glass. And, Stone Cold being funny, like he taps on the glass and waits for him, and they're just like, come in. And Stone Cold opens the door, and he shuts it and kind of looks back at the door, and he's kind of looking at it like, what the hell? And he's like, whatever. And he's like, I just want to thank y'all boys for helping me out with the attack of Kane and the Undertaker. Like y'all really didn't have to put y'all's necks out there and risk it like that. Risk it and put y'all's necks on the line for me like that, And Stone Cold's like, I don't have a lot of friends here in the World Wrestling Federation, so it kind of means a lot that y'all put y'all's necks out on the line for me like that. And Farouk's just like, look, man, we had our problems with Taker before. I know I have, and I know Bradshaw has too. And most of the time, you got to pay the right price to get something nice. You know what I'm saying? Stone Cold's just like, yeah, I was kind of afraid y'all were going to make me want to pay money and all that stuff. Farouk's like, nah, man. That one was for free. That one's just mutual respect. You see, we've been at the bottom of the card for a long time, Steve. Overlooked, overshadowed. When guys like The Undertaker can just go about willy-nilly, attacking whoever he wants to, doing whatever he wants to, and thinks that with a little intimidation, he's going to get a title shot. If anybody deserves to be #1 contender for that World Wrestling Federation Championship, man, it's you. Stone Cold's like, well, boys, I appreciate that. I really do. I can't do a Stone Cold voice. I got to record the pay-per-view. I can't be doing my Stone Cold voice. Stone Cold basically thanks him and was just like, look, man, DTA for a reason. Like, I don't trust anybody. And, but I basically, I appreciate y'all's help. And I don't know why y'all turned down the #1 contendership. And Farouk and Bradshaw's just like, look, tomorrow night, you're going to fight. Tonight, you're going to fight The Undertaker. And, if things go sideways, then, we'll be there to basically help you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be there to help you. Because, we don't like what Vince is doing. We don't like how Vince is abusing his power. And we don't like how The Undertaker's abusing his power. And we believe that you deserve the #1 contendership. Like, you've earned your title shot, pretty much. The segment's 100. Hopefully I got the point across. Basically, they're basically saying, like, hey, we got your back. Don't worry about it. Next segment. It is the Prince Brian Lawler. Taking on Rikishi. And Brian Lawler picks up the win after he hits Rikishi with a pair of brass knuckles. He picks up the win. Brian Lawler with a 41, Rikishi with a 43. The match got a 43. Not bad. Basically, Brian Lawler picking up a win against his former ally, his former friend, his former amigo, whatever you want to call it, Rikishi. And the Prince Brian Lawler picks up the win here tonight. Yes. I'm pretty sure I had Big Show talking here. We see Mick Foley, and he's backstage, and the Big Show comes up, and Big Show, I kind of forgot where the segment was going to go. I know it was supposed to hype the match between Raven and Mick Foley. Let's see. Yeah, Big Show talks Mick Foley into becoming Cactus Jack again. He's like basically embraced the hardcore side, you know, when you face Raven at the pay-per-view. He's just like, I know that you denounced, I know that you denounced hardcore wrestling. I know that you denounced hardcore wrestling. I know that you put hardcore wrestling aside, you know, and I know that you're looking out for your daughter and your son, but you got to do what you got to do. And if you're going to beat Raven, you're going to have to dig deep, Mick. You're going to have to dig deep and pull that darkness from out of your heart once again, you know, and you're going to have to dig deep and pull that darkness out of your soul again and embrace that bitter hatred. You know, you are the king of the death matches, Mick. You know, you and Terry put y'all's bodies on the line and pretty much cut years off of your life. You got to find that if you're going to beat Raven. You're going to have to dig deep and find it to beat Raven. I love you, Mick. You're one of the reasons why I came to the World Wrestling Federation from WCW. You're one of my biggest influences, and I love you to death, and you've been an awesome mentor to me backstage before you teamed up with Raven. And I just want to see you beat him and send him back to where he belongs. Basically, Big Show basically motivating Mick Foley here to become Cactus Jack again for this match. He can't be Mick Foley. He's gonna have to be Cactus Jack. He's gonna have to embrace that hardcore side of him, whether he wants to or not. No matter what Mick says, you know, whether Mick says that he goes crazy when he becomes Cactus Jack. He becomes homicidal, genocidal, and suicidal when he becomes Cactus Jack, and he's afraid to become that because of his family. And Big Show's like, man, you're gonna have to balance it, and you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it. The segment got a 70. I'm pretty sure I don't know why Raven. I guess he's not over in England, but I guess Raven was talking in this segment. But I was pretty sure this was it was supposed to be a hype for Big Show and Mick Foley. We move on to the next segment. I've kind of forgot where that was going. But in our main event, in an abysmal match, the Hardy Boys defeat the Hollies, the Dudley Boys, and Bomb and Crush. The Dudleys were the first to go, then Bomb and Crush, then finally the Hollies. And the Hardy Boys are the #1 contenders for the WWF World Tag Team Champions, 52, Bomb and Crush with a 34-39, Hollies with a 46 and 45. Crash Holly got higher than Bob Holly. That's crazy. Bubba with a 34, Devon with a 46, Matt with a 56, and Jeff with a 60. Jeff is always super fucking over. And it advances the storyline. The match got a 52. The Hardys are the new #1 contenders. They will be facing Ask Us tonight, really, in a tag team title match. We might hold off on that because I don't know if I book them twice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if all that stuff. So we might hold off on the tag team title match for the next pay-per-view. I'm not quite sure on that one. We'll figure it out when we go. If I can book them again, if it lets me book them again at the pay-per-view, then I'll do that. We move on to the next segment. And it is basically a hype promo for the pay-per-view tonight. Our big main event is the matchup that this rivalry has been going on for a long time and has been building for a long time. It is Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight title. Shawn Michaels defeated The Undertaker, Bret Hart, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm pretty sure, to win that #1 contendership matchup. Oh, no, it was a triple threat. It was between Undertaker and Bret Hart. He ends up winning the match. He becomes #1 contender again. He is going to face his former protege, Triple H, for that World Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. They fought in a last man standing match before Triple H winning that matchup, going on to SummerSlam and winning the title. Shawn Michaels basically says, I'm the first in line that you're going to have to defend that title against. Triple H looking to keep that World Wrestling Federation Championship against Shawn Michaels. This feud has been building for a long time. Triple H is tired of being overshadowed and overlooked. He said he deserves the main event. He puts on the best match every single night. He deserves to be in the main event, and he took that opportunity. He is now the World Wrestling Federation Champion, and he will be in the main events moving forward. Our next matchup is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker. This match is pretty much booked by Vince McMahon. As we know, Vince McMahon does not like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold, he is trying everything to keep Stone Cold Steve Austin out of the main event, out of being World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion. He's going out of his way to screw Steve Austin over time and time again. He believes the fans want Steve Austin. The fans believe that Stone Cold Steve Austin should be the face of the company, but Vince is strongly against it. He hates Steve Austin. He doesn't like his redneck antics, drinking beer, cussing, flipping off, no respect for authority, the typical Steve Austin that we all love. Vince does not like it whatsoever. He does not want that to be the face of his family-friendly program. The Undertaker basically said, as we know, The Undertaker killed Linda McMahon a long time ago in this save. In real life, it's been about 2 years. But the beginning of the year, we know that The Undertaker killed Linda McMahon when he was the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. And Undertaker's basically, he dropped the gimmicks, man. No more gimmicks. He is himself. He is there to whoop people's ass and take names. And no more bullshit, pretty much. And he basically threatened Vince and was just like, you seen what I did to your wife. Imagine what I can do to your kids or you. You're going to give me a title shot for the WWF World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. Vince is like, I'll give you that match if you take out Steve Austin. If you can take out Steve Austin, then I'll give you that match. Undertaker agreed. He said, not only will I take Steve Austin out, I'll retire his ass. And if Undertaker wins, he will become the new #1 contender for Triple H's WWF title. If Steve Austin wins, without a shadow of a doubt, if Steve Austin wins, he should be #1 contender, but I'm sure Vince is going to come up with a way to screw him out of it, like he always does. It's pretty much going to be, Vince's hand's going to be forced if Steve Austin wins this matchup. We move on to our other big main event matchup, which is Kurt Angle versus Bret the Hitman Hart, excuse me. This rivalry has been building for a while. We found out that Owen was getting tired of Bret's antics, and he teamed up with Kurt Angle for a little bit. But it was all a ruse. It was all a scam. Owen played Kurt like a fiddle the whole time, so Bret can keep his WWF World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight title. But it really didn't matter in the long run because he lost to Triple H at SummerSlam. But Kurt found out that it was all a ruse, it was all a scam, and he is mad, he's angry, and he is looking. He already took out Owen, and now he's looking to take out Bret. Will Kurt Angle be able to defeat Bret Hart here tonight, or will Bret Hart use some underhanded tactics to basically beat Kurt Angle here tonight? And one of our big matches here tonight, we will see a newly crowned European champion. The title is introduced for this European tour. The Ultimate Underdog Christian. As we know, Edge is injured. He got hurt pretty bad, and he's going to be out for a while. We don't know when he is going expected to return. But the Ultimate Underdog Christian has pulled off some big wins to make it to the finals. Well, Davey Boy Smith, as everybody knows, he's the handpicked favorite to win this matchup. Will the Underdog Christian be able to defeat Davey Boy Smith, or will Davey Boy Smith's dominance continue to reign as he becomes the first ever WWF European Champion? We will find out here tonight at One Night Only. We will finish the show. The show got a 75. I wasn't expecting too much out of that. We will find out here tonight at One Night Only. Let's go ahead and book all this stuff here. Yes, okay. We will find out here tonight at One Night Only, here in Wembley Stadium. I'm pretty sure we have a sold-out crowd. Let's look at, yep. Look at that. We already booked Wembley Stadium. Ah. Oh, no. Okay. Yep. We have 64,000 fans expected to show up. We are here. 82,000. So we did not sell it out, sadly. We did not sell it out, but that is okay. We will go to the booking screen, guys. My name, let's go ahead and save that. My name is Dylan the Villain. Thank y'all for watching this episode of Sunday Night Heat. As you can see, we are booking the pay-per-view now. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for liking the video. Like always, guys, thank y'all for leaving comments down below. I love getting comments. I will reply back to them as quickly as I can. I usually reply back within the day. But thank y'all for watching. If you are new to the channel and like what you see, the subscribe icon should be over here. Somewhere over here. If you want to go back and catch up on previous episodes, that playlist will be right here. And if you're looking for something a little bit more extreme, the ECW pay-per-view will be right here, so you can catch up with the ECW save, guys. My name is Dylan the Villain, and like we always say here at Pro Am Gaming, if you can't play with each other, do what I do and play with yourself, guys. We will see you at WWF One Night Only, live here in England. We will see y'all then. See y'all later.